Hey everybody, it's Kathy. I'm coming to you live from my office slash yoga room with way crazy sexy voice today. I swear I sound so much worse than I feel. So enjoy the ride. Welcome to episode 10 of Mondays on the Mat. Thanks to Lisa B for today's question, which is, how do I set an intention? I hear you say set an intention and my mind goes blank. Such an awesome question, and I'm totally going to answer it in just a second. But before I do, I wanted to give you all a heads up that the next 3 episodes of Mondays on the Mat will be coming to you live at 1:30 p.m. in Australia, which is 6:30 a.m. Sunday morning in California. So I know that's a little bit early, but like roll out of bed, jammies, grab your coffee or your tea, and tune in, because how cool is it that we can connect and see each other live and in person on opposite sides of the planet. Like, technology is so amazing and incredible, and I think it would be really fun to be able to say hi to some of you live from Australia. So keep that in mind, 6:30 a.m. Sunday mornings. So let's turn now to today's question. How do I set an intention? If you're someone who has taken class with me or takes class with me regularly, you'll often hear me say in the first few minutes of class that we're going to take a pause and set an intention for our practice. And for some of you, that may come very easily, but this will still give you more information and perhaps give you some tools to set an even deeper or more meaningful intention. And for some of you, your mind kind of goes blank, or I don't know what is a good intention or a right intention. And again, this video is going to give you some answers and some tools to help you find that deeper connection. So first of all, let's talk about the word intention itself. I get kind of like word nerdy sometimes, and like Inigo Montoya, like, I do not think that word means what you think it means. And so I like to go in and like actually learn a word's true definition and make sure it means what I think it means, and maybe get a little bit deeper into that. So the word intention means an aim or a plan. Okay, that feels very broad and general. And so I went in and I looked at the etymology of the word. And first, it comes from Latin, and I never taken Latin and I don't know how to pronounce it correctly, but the spelling looks just like intention, but I'm sure it's pronounced differently than that. And this word that it comes from in Latin means stretching or purpose. And it also comes from Middle English, which is, I'm just checking my notes to make sure I got it right. It's direct the attention. So we've got Latin, stretching or purpose, and Middle English, direct the attention. So it's sort of like asking us to set an aim or a plan to direct our attention to stretching, like stretching ourselves internally from where we are now to where we want to be. So here's the thing, all of us at all stages of our lives have something that is known as your growing edge. We're all growing into something new at all times. There's never an end point where we aren't growing and expanding. It's the natural movement of the entire universe. There's a great video on YouTube by Pastor Rob Bell called Everything is Spiritual. It's 2 hours, so if you're going to watch it, make sure you set aside some time. But in this video, he talks about how the entire universe is growth, momentum, and expansion. And so when we're setting an intention, what we're doing is deliberately contributing to the forward growth and expansion of ourselves and our souls, which contributes to the expansion of the entire universe. Oh, how cool is that? So that's also why I often invite students to set an intention, is so that yoga, while it is often about taking care of the physical body when you're in an asana class, we can set that intention for ourselves and turn yoga into that something more that I think a lot of us think or know is there with yoga, and this just makes it a little bit more deliberate. So then the next question is, well, how do I do that? And I want to start by sharing with you a couple of examples of intentions that I've set for myself over the last 21, oh my gosh, almost 21 years. And then I'll give you some really direct tools that you can use to help you. So let me tell you the story. The very first time a teacher asked me to set an intention, I think I was 26 years old. And so this would be about 20 years ago, guys. And I had never set an intention and I didn't know what that was or what it meant. And right up out of like the gut of my soul was the phrase, I just want to love myself. And that was number one, 100% true. And number two, I had no clue. I was almost going to bleep, but I didn't warn you guys, so I didn't. I had no clue what loving myself meant or how to do it. I've certainly heard plenty of people say, you just have to love yourself. But I didn't. I was actually very self-loathing at that time, and I was codependent. And wanted to love myself, but thought that was like the weirdest, most bizarre thing ever. And yet here was this intention coming up out of me. I just want to love myself. So sometimes an intention is like that. It just comes up as this truth and this thing, and it's like set it and forget it. And that's really how I think of intentions. You set them, they go out into the universe, they come from your own vibration, and you trust that the tools and the guidance and the things that you need will come to you to help fulfill that intention. So that's really great. It's just this natural bubble up one. There can also be, quite honestly, and nothing wrong with it, physical intentions, such as I really want to commit to this practice because I'm feeling flabby. Like that's such a great intention because it's teaching you to focus on being on your mat and being present. Or I really want a nice butt. And I will admit to you, there are times when I get on my mat and I'm like, I appreciate my derriere and I want to focus this practice on that. So having physical intentions is also really great. I've also in the past set intentions for things like patience or focus, things that are more about my mind. And lastly, one other example I want to share of you of my own intentions before I help you learn how to set your own is what I call a dedication intention. And those are when someone who's really close to you passes and you begin your practice by saying to yourself something like, I dedicate this practice, every move that I make and every breath that I take in memory and service of this person who has left. And that becomes really powerful because you don't want to ditch out or half any part of your practice when you're dedicating it to someone who you loved and who is meaningful in your life. So those are a couple of examples of intentions. Hey, Amanda. Oh, nice to see you. I'm glad I caught you too. Sorry, guys, I just got distracted by a hi, and I wanted to acknowledge Amanda. So hi, Amanda. Glad you're joining me. So here's how you set an intention. Two really great questions you can ask yourself. The first one is, why am I here? Why am I at this yoga class? Or if you're practicing at home alone, why are you on your mat? And it could be the yoga butt or the nice arms, or it could be because you just don't want to talk to another human being for the next 90 minutes, or you don't want to be a human jungle gym, or because you feel like your life is falling apart, or whatever, like whatever brought you to yoga that day, that can be your intention. Oh, Leland Gina. Is your first name Gina or Leland? I'm not sure. But I love that you said you want to do a dedication for your dad. I think that would be such an awesome practice. And so we're sidetracking right now, but I really wanted to address Leland Gina. When you're doing this dedication practice, for real, like inhale like a memory or a word that makes you think of your dad, even if it's I love you, Dad, or I'm grateful for you, or you just holding a picture in your mind of your dad. It's like, inhale, there's Dad. Exhale, forward fold, there's Dad. And like every single breath and with every single deliberate placement of your body, this is for Dad, this is for Dad, this is for Dad. And you're just going to feel so connected to him and so grateful inside for how he shows up in your life and even connect you in that spirit realm to him. So awesome. Thank you. Okay, so we had why am I here as a way to set an intention. And the other question that I sometimes ask myself and that I recommend that you ask yourself is, what do I really, really, really want? And it's that third really that can get you deep into that truth that helps make your yoga practice more meaningful. Because sometimes what you really, really, really want is something that's beyond the surface of, I want more patience. Maybe what you really, really, really want is to learn the skill of not interrupting people. Me. I'm still working on that one, you guys. So patience, but deeper than that. Like, why do you want the patience? Or, like, what do you really, really, really want is to not feel scared all the time. And so when you ask that really, 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 maybe what you really, really, really want is to finally accept your body the way that it is. And so that can be another really great way to set an intention, asking yourself, why am I here? And or what do I really, really, really want? And those help you drop into making the asana, the movement, just right. And I just did it right now, Amanda. I just interrupted right now my own train of thought. Oh, high five, sister. It makes me feel so human. Uh, so what do I really want? Why am I here? And so what I want to emphasize right now too is that intention to me is that stretching and that aim or directing my attention towards this, but in a sort of set it, forget it. I'm sending this out into the universe and I'm trusting that what I need is going to help reveal the path to me. There's something called sankalpa in Sanskrit, which is an intention that's formed in the heart for the purpose of the growth of your soul. And this is another way to make life much more meaningful and fulfilling. It's a little bit more of an in-depth process because, first of all, it requires you knowing the purpose of your soul, which is called your dharma. And then it's real deliberate. It's something that you wake up every day and you tell yourself, this is my sankalpa or my intention, and is what I'm doing today in service of that. It's a goal that you can achieve in 6 to 18 months. And it's something like, say, on a Saturday, you have an option of attending 2 different events. And it's like, well, is event A in service of this sankalpa and the growth of my soul, or is event B? And it helps you to make those life decisions to move you forward. But like I said, it's a little bit more involved in a process, so we're not going to get into that today. But if your curiosity is piqued and you're like, what is this sankalpa and what is this dharma? Please reach out to me and let me know. I'm going to be forming a small group of women that will meet live, most likely, to study dharma and sankalpa later this year, like June, July. So if you're like, ooh, I want that, you're going to reach out to me and let me know because like I said, I'm forming a small private group for that. So Lisa B, thank you so much for your question about how do I set an intention. If you still have questions or comments, please reach out and let me know, and I will definitely make sure to answer you. If you have questions you'd like to see answered here on Mondays on the Mat, also shoot those over to me. And like I said, the next 3 weeks, so I'm going to peek at the calendar. April 24th, May 1st, and May 8th. It's going to be 6:30 a.m. California time. So roll out of bed in your jammies, glasses, and tune in live while I'll be in Australia, and I'll be sharing yoga wisdom with you from the other side of the world. Cool, right? Thanks for tuning in, everyone, today. Appreciate you watching and look forward to seeing you again next Monday for episode 11 of Mondays on the Mat, live from New South Wales, Australia, just north of Sydney. Have a beautiful rest of your Monday, everyone, and I appreciate you. Namaste.